Hello Internet, Austin Smith here, and I'm doing a video here of me painting some Minairons Panzer 1s. There's the model without any primer on it. I have primed the miniature with some Rust-Oleum black, just some regular spray paint, nothing too special, just sticks to the plastic. Make sure it does that because some don't, and it's awful. And then I'm going in with some German gray, and I'm just going to undercoat the entire miniature in that. Now, I am not a master painter by any means. I wouldn't call myself a great painter, or perhaps even a good painter. I would be an alright painter. So this is not a tutorial, this is not a how-to paint a Panzer 1. This is just a me painting, and hopefully maybe you can get some ideas or at least be entertained by me painting this Panzer 1, or these Panzer 1s. And you can see there that the German gray is a bit darker than the black, but not by much, or a bit lighter than the black, sorry, but not by much. It's if you just looked at it, you could probably say that they were the same color, just glancing. So that's going to need to be lightened up. This is the turrets that are just being painted the exact same as the rest of the miniature, but I will show you those as we go along. Now I'm just taking a little bit of model color green gray and mixing that into the German gray and just covering the miniature in that again. That makes it a little bit lighter, just so that we can make it look a little bit nicer. A lot of Panzers that I've seen being painted are very light, and I don't know if that's accurate or not. The ones that I've seen that are still around, like the actual tanks, are fairly dark, and I believe German gray was fairly dark, despite what they show you in the the way it showed up on film is what I'm trying to say. Right there I'm adding some foundation white to the previous mixture and going in a dry brush with that on the edges just to give everything a little bit of definition and some highlight. But I was going for a dark color here just because I think it might be more realistic, and if it isn't, I think it's more interesting, even though, I mean, more interesting is relative. A lot of people would probably like a brighter color that's more pleasing to the eye, that draws your eye to it and lets you see more of the detail. But I think most military things are very dark colors, and I like those dark colors. And you really have to look to see the detail, and I like that. And there's not much detail on the miniature to highlight anyway. Now I'm taking some model color chocolate brown and using that to color the handles, or paint the handles rather, of the one tool that's on this miniature. That is a shovel. That isn't the best sculpted shovel in the world, but you know. And that was some model color beige brown that I used to highlight that. And now I'm going in with some gunmetal gray and painting the top of the shovel, or the spade of the shovel, and I'm also going to go through and dry brush that on some of the more metallic areas, some places where there might be a little bit more wear, etc. Sometimes it's just up and around the tank. I'm also painting the machine gun barrels with that on the turrets, and then the 20mm Brenna Italian gun, which I mistakenly called the Flampanzer gun in my review. It is definitely not a Flampanzer, which is a flamethrower tank. It is actually just a 20mm gun because the 30 caliber guns were unimpressive. There you can see the result of all of that. I also put it on the treads and on the suspension, I believe that is. Anyway, now I'm taking some game color black shade, or is that game color? It's a wash. And I'm mixing that, usually mix it about 50-50 with water, at least in what I've done before. I'm mixing it about 25-75, so a lot of water, just because everything needs to be blended together, but I don't want to make it black again, because it's already really close to black, and it takes a lot of light to actually make it look like it does there. And so here you can see the final product. You can see just the little bit of raised area with the gunmetal gray and the highlight color. There weren't many colors used in making this, so it all looks fairly monotonous, but I believe it's a bit more realistic. It looks fairly real. It looks fairly new, but like used just a little bit, might not have been through combat, but it's probably been through training. It's probably been loaded and unloaded. Just showing up in Spain or the beginning of the First World War, or the Second World War. I meant the beginning, and so I said first. At the beginning of the Second World War. Here we can see it with the Brenna gun that was only used in the Spanish Civil War. So I don't think these are particularly realistic for the Spanish Civil War because they're not camouflaged. And I believe Spanish Civil War vehicles were mostly camouflaged, but these are pretty nice. Again, I wasn't really looking for realism. I was looking for something that I wanted to do and something that was simple and quick and easy. And that's what this is. They came out looking pretty nice. In a dark area, they're really hard to see, but, if you're going to game with them, it doesn't matter too much how pretty they are. Anyway, I'm not going to do that, but thank you for watching, and bye.